Welcome to the Grow My Cleaning Company podcast with your host, Mike Campion. If you are passionate about the cleaning industry, you are in the right place. Love what you hear? Spread the word and tell the cleaning world this is the place to be. Want more? Check out www.growmycleaningcompany.com for free online video trainings, free ebook downloads, free blog posts, and of course, all the podcast episodes. Everything you need to grow your cleaning company is at www.growmycleaningcompany.com. And now, on with the show.
Welcome to the Grow My Cleaning Company podcast, where I coach owners of cleaning companies every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on all things related to growing and building cleaning companies. If that gets you fired up and that's you and you want to grow your cleaning company, you're in the right place, and you can get more resources at growmycleaningcompany.com. The webinars, there's the podcast, there's YouTube channels, Facebook group, all sorts of cool stuff. Also, if you want to be a guest on the show, you can reach out to us at 480-648-5149, or just leave a message with our producer, Natalie, at nat@growmycleaningcompany.com. We're always excited to hear from you, Clean Nation. You are what makes the show great. That said, today we are chatting with Caleb Jeffries from Jeffries Commercial Cleaning. They serve the Des Moines, Iowa area with commercial cleaning services. And if you want to reach out to Caleb, you can get a hold of him at jeffriescleaning@gmail.com. That said, Caleb, welcome and say hello to Cleaning Nation.
Hello, Cleaning Nation.
Glad to have you, my friend. Tell us a little bit about Jeffries Cleaning Company and how it came to be.
Well, we started in the Des Moines area around 2010, had a few different floor cleaning accounts, and we've kind of expanded into some janitorial cleaning, but we really enjoy serving floors and doing our best we can in the floor cleaning area. So we're trying to grow in that regard right now.
Okay, so are you mostly floors, mostly janitorial, or is it about an even split?
It's probably more like an even split right now, but we'd like to do more on the floor end. Janitorial is more of my wife's area of expertise, and I'd like to find a way to get her to work a little bit less and maybe get me to work a little more. So I like to do the floors, and then we can get rid of the janitorial cleaning so much.
Or if you've been listening to the show, keep the janitorial cleaning and have employees do the work as opposed to you or your wife.
Yeah, I suppose that's true too. That's an option.
That's sorry, the coach in me just couldn't help myself. All right. So you're in the Des Moines, Iowa area. You've been doing this since 2010. So you've got about 6 years in. Right now, is it just you and your wife? Do you have any employees? What's the status?
We have a couple guys that I can kind of call on a part-time, kind of as needed basis, but not anything really regular. Mostly just my wife and I do most of the work.
Okay. And what are your goals? What are you looking to try and accomplish?
Well, I would really like to just focus more on using my equipment more. I have quite a bit of floor cleaning equipment, so I really want to be able to put that equipment to good use. I kind of feel like I'm wasting my expertise and my equipment just by having it sit and using the janitorial stuff all the time. So I really like to just have more floor work that I can justify having, all of the needed vehicles and maintenance on the equipment and, stuff like that. I need the equipment to be making money instead of having it sit in a parked car all the time,
Okay, yeah, I can't imagine it's very profitable parked without somebody operating it.
Exactly.
All right, cool. Well, let's hook you up with that today, my friend. How can I help you best today?
Well, I had a question about one of our customers that we've been working with for about 4 or 5 years now, and we service around, lately the last couple of years we've done around 30 of their stores, but there's a potential of around 1,000 stores within a couple hours of me. And I'd like to see if you have any advice or what you might think of to, get past the gatekeeper, as they say, to find the right person that I need to talk to educate them as to why this is a needed service, why they would need this in all of their stores and not just the 30 or so that we've been doing for the last couple of years.
Okay. So that's a really good question. I don't know that we've talked about or dove into how to kind of go from I've got a customer, because I think Cleaning Nation definitely has a situation where, hey, I've got a customer that could give me a lot more work, but they just give me part of it. How do I get the rest of it? So let's just dive right in. First of all, let's make a distinction, and I'll help you either way, but let me just kind of give you a recommendation first. I am not a fan of the double sale. The double sale would be, first, I got to close you on the idea and the concept that you need this service, whether it's floor work or carpet cleaning or janitorial maid, any of that stuff. And then after I close you on that concept or get you on board with the concept that you need it, now I've got to convince you that I'm the one that you should choose out of all the people out there. That's too much work. I'm a much bigger fan of finding people that are already using that service and serving them better than the guy that's serving them now. So there's two options of the stores that you don't have currently. Either somebody else is doing the work or the work is going undone. Do you know which of those it is?
I would, my best guess is that it's going undone.
Okay. So if it's going undone, and again, I'm going to help you either way. So don't hear me saying, because I disagree, I'm not going to give you any coaching. But if the work is going undone, I would absolutely, because, if you've been a business owner long enough to know that our time is so scarce and there's just so many things that need our attention, and we can only just do one thing at a time. So I'm a huge fan, certainly in my private coaching, of making sure that people are doing $100 work or $200 work or $500 work, not $10 work or $0 work, which is selling to someone that doesn't buy. So my first and foremost would be, I would find more customers that already see the value in what they're doing and then help transition them to you. I think that extra time finding the new customer will be far, far less than kind of throwing away time with a customer. You're like, well, I've already found these people. I know who they are. I've already found them, but they're not interested. I really think you're going to get a far better return on your time investment finding customers that are interested than trying to convince people that aren't interested that they should be interested. Thoughts or questions before we move on?
No, that makes sense.
Okay. So that's what I would do first and foremost. That said, that's not what you asked. You asked, how can I get a hold of these people and convince them? So first of all, you can't convince anybody of anything. Certainly not that you're better or that they were not doing, because really what you're saying is what you're doing now is wrong. And what I want you to do is right. And the initial response for everybody in any kind of circumstance like that, whether you're dealing with your wife or your kid or a vendor, is no, you're not right. I'm right. I know what I'm doing. So you got to make sure you create a space where you're not creating that environment, because it doesn't matter how good the facts are. If they feel like you're saying they're dumb and you're smart and they should have been doing this all along and how stupid of them not to see it, that's what I call an impossible sale. No one's ever going to go, gosh, Caleb, thank you so much for coming to my office. I thought I was a smart guy, but apparently I'm an idiot. Let me give you a bunch of money. That's just never, ever, ever, ever going to happen. So the way we're going to do that is you're going to call them and find out. You're going to ask them questions and listen. And those questions are going to be not even about floor cleaning, about what's important to them. So what kind of are these convenience stores or retail stores? What kind of stores are we talking?
Yeah, they're like a convenience store, gas station type thing.
Perfect. Okay. So the convenience store, you're going to go in and be like, tell me about you. How'd you get into the kind of what I'm doing here with you? How'd you get in the business? Why is that important? What are your hopes and dreams? And then you've got to find a way to connect the services that you offer with their hopes and dreams. Because that they're interested in talking. That they'll talk with you all day long. So let's just take an easy one and say we want to make more money, right? You've got to figure out a way to categorize and connect your services with making more money. And if you've got research that you can find on, the cleaner stores, the people that stay longer, the longer they stay, the more they spend. I'm not an expert in that area, so I'm not the guy to help you with it. But the key is you've got to get out of the conversation of let me try and get you to talk about something you don't want to talk about, right? You're like, hey, I want to find out who they are, and then make them listen to me. That's a tough one. I would go find out who they are, find out what they're interested in, and then start talking about them or start talking about that thing that they're interested in and watch them start gathering around. So like an example of that might be you hold a lunch and learn where you invite 20 convenience store owners and you get someone that's really a speaker, or you do it yourself, give a presentation on how to get more profit out of their convenience stores. And one of the pieces of that might be having operations, a facility management. And you don't say, I'm a floor cleaner, so I'm trying to sell you floor cleaner, so the way to make more money is to pay me. That's not going to work. You have to give 2 or 3 pieces of good content that have nothing to do with floor cleaning. And one of those pieces might be facilities management. You say, hey, the franchises make 20% more, and they've got this regimen that they do with maintaining their facilities. Here's how they clean their bathrooms. Here's how they keep their pumps good. Here's how they do their floors. Here's how they move their inventory. So what you do is just kind of a piece, and a legitimate piece of a bigger story that you're telling. They will come if you say, hey, let me give you a free lunch and tell you how to run your store better, and you'll have an hour of their time, no problem. They're not going to come when you say, hey, let me come into your office and spend an hour telling you why what you're doing sucks and what I'm doing is awesome. Any thoughts so far?
Yeah, that makes sense. I got you.
Okay. Pardon me, man. I'm getting choked up. I'm so fired up. All right. So that's the answer to the question is A, don't go after them if they're not already interested. B, if you decide that you've got to go after them, even if they're not interested, don't try and get them interested in floors. Get you interested in what they're interested in, and then find out how floors can serve what they're already trying to do. So you're kind of jumping onto the conversation that's already in their head as opposed to trying to get them to change that conversation. As far as finding out who these people are, just ask. You literally just call the receptionist and go, who's in charge of facilities maintenance? Who would hire this guy? That's super easy. They'll tell you who that is. They may not give you they won't give you his home phone number and his PIN number, but they'll tell you the guy's name. And then it's up to you to kind of put together, find out a way to get to hold of them. So that's kind of the long and the short of it. We can hit the lightning round, or if you've got any other questions or concerns or thoughts or comments, we can hit that before we transition. What would you like to see happen next, my friend?
Well, that's a good question. I guess you pretty much covered everything that I was asking about. Even though the work is being undone, that's not something to focus on. Like, a big thing with me is you go into a bathroom and you get hit with that urine smell. Is that a type of a pain to speak of? Not having a clean bathroom and things like that. If you see a dirty floor in front of the pop machine or something like that, the soda machine.
Great.
Is that something that
great follow-up question? That shows
about?
that shows that you're tracking. Really a good follow-up question. So the answer to that is I don't know. You've got to ask them. So the way that your brain is thinking is correct. I didn't hear a single thing about, but we do it so much better, and we know that it needs to be clean. And in my heart of hearts, I know that none of that came out, which would indicate you're totally missing it, and I haven't helped you. You said a lot of things that are important. Would that help? Is that something they care about? What do you think? How do you think they feel? Their bathrooms being disgusting and clients being turned off with that? These are the right kinds of questions. Now we just got to put them in front of the right person. You're asking me, the owner of the Grow My Cleaning Company podcast. Couldn't tell you. No idea. Never owned a convenience store. But they're the right questions. Now let's just put them in front of the right people, which would be the owner of the convenience stores or the regional manager that controls that, or whoever that decision maker. And let me tell you, it may be totally different. Like if the gal or guy or whoever your contact is now, say you're dealing directly with the owner, and they own 3 of these shops, but then you move to one where they own 7,000. You're not going to be dealing with the owner or the board. You'll be dealing with a regional manager that controls a block of 50. And the thing is, his pain, what turns him on or scares him or he's interested in, is very, very different than the owner's pain. So I was kind of giving you a hard time that I'm the wrong guy to ask. You got to make sure, even within the organization, you're asking the right guy. If you want to sell to owners that own 3 or 4 or 5 or whatever the max an owner is going to own, then you would ask him or her that question, and they'll be able to answer it well. And the way you're going to go about it will be different for that person than if you're speaking with a district manager who's in charge of 87 of these bad boys in like a 3-state region. He or she's going to have different pains, and you want to make sure that when you're talking to them, you bring the right pain to the right customer. Does that make sense?
Yep, it does.
Okay. So long story short, good question. Good advice. I'm sorry. Say that again.
I'm sorry. That was good advice.
Okay, cool. Glad you were feeling it. So yeah, right questions, wrong person. Ask those exact same questions to the right people, and you will find gold in the answers, my friend. All right, enough of me yapping. Let's give you an opportunity to share with Genius Nation some of your experiences. We're going to hit the lightning round. 3 quick questions, 3 awesome answers. No pressure, Caleb. Question number 1, what's the best piece of advice you've ever received?
I think I've heard it on other shows and just in my own research, but I know you're a big one of this. Is find your niche and stick to it. I think that's the best thing that I found that works for our company so far. Is what helps us succeed the most and get the most done in the least amount of time. Usually, is if we stick to what we're the best at. So that's been the biggest help for us so far.
Man, I've been banging that drum for what feels like an eternity, my friend, so I couldn't agree more. All right, question number 2. What's the biggest mistake you've made in the cleaning business? Maybe you can share with us so we can steer clear.
The biggest mistake I've made is I'm not real good with my paperwork sometimes. So I've been behind on billing, and if you get too far behind, I've had some companies that were like management type companies that didn't even end up paying for a few months. And that was probably the biggest mistake I've ever made. It was not a fun time in work or in my marriage, but that's all in the past now. We've gotten over it, but it was not fun when we were going through it.
Okay. Yeah. Billing systems are one of those ones that don't seem important until you don't have one, and then things go off the rails. And thank you for sharing that, because I think that's an encouragement and a warning to Cleaning Nation. All right, last question. What's one idea that Cleaning Nation can put into practice today before their head hits the pillow that can improve their lives or their business?
Just keep improving yourself. Do things like this. If you have questions, not sure what to do next, find somebody that can help you, give you some encouragement, keeps you on the straight path. And, the more ideas you get, the better you'll be able to make a decision that works for you and your company. So just keep looking. If you can't find something that you don't like, then just keep trying again. There's answers out there, and, you will find it.
Yeah, and you're preaching to the choir, because by definition, if someone's listening to this, they've acknowledged, hey, I need some help. I'd like to get better, and they're doing that by this podcast. So congratulations, Cleaning Nation, on tuning in and trying to improve. Caleb, you're a rock star, man. Thank you so much for contributing to the show and sharing your passion, your experiences. I appreciate you. I know Cleaning Nation appreciates you. When you want to check out Caleb's show notes page and discover everything you need to grow your cleaning business, growmycleaningcompany.com. Leave your questions, your comments, your rude remarks. I will see you there.
Congratulations! You are now 16% smarter. Still can't get enough cleaning goodness? Go to www.growmycleaningcompany.com for more of the good stuff. Ever want to be rich and famous? Owners of cleaning companies, as well as industry experts, can apply to be featured on the show by emailing our producer Natalie at support@growmycleaningcompany.com. Until then, don't miss out on all the latest cleaning industry lovin' at www.growmycleaningcompany.com. Check it out now.